What's up, everybody? This is your boy Proto, and welcome to another episode of Like or Dislike, where we take a look at some of the latest games that's coming out, tell you what we guys think about after getting our hands on it, and show you a little bit of gameplay of it at the same time. So today I am doing Need for Speed Payback. Now, I've been a big Need for Speed fan since way back in the day. Underground being one of my utmost favorite ones I love playing. So when I saw this announcement at E3, I was excited about it and couldn't wait to get my hands on this game. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, campaign wise, you're a racer called Tyler that's part of a crew that gets double crossed by this organization called the House that's trying to take over all the street racing and everything going on in this fictional version of Las Vegas that they have created. And after they double cross you and your crew, you get your crew back together so you can get revenge by taking them down. And you do it by challenging all of the other racing crews in the area, taking down their leaders, so you can get access to this big event called the Outlaws Run, where you plan on taking down the House. And that's pretty much the overall of the game. Now, for this Need for Speed, you have a bunch of different types of racing that you're doing. Since you're going against other crews, you're going to be racing against specific type crews. And the different types of races you have drift racing, you have drag racing, you have off-road, and you have police chases, what they call enforcers, where you're basically running from the police and you're taking them down. Now, if you've seen any of the gameplay or any of the trailers where you're knocking over cars or police cars and they are getting crashed out, that is the enforcers. And that's the interesting one to me, because that's where you see like the burnout element, knocking the cars out of the road and everything. But overall, all the classes are really good. And to really say that, because one, I've never been a big drift person or drag racing, but the way they implemented the drift racing, the drag racing, and even the off-road, it was really fun and it's really challenging. I mean, the AI in each of the classes does not play around. They're not just randomly running into cars. They're avoiding traffic like you are. They're hitting nitros like you are. And they're doing everything they can to stay ahead of you. So it's really interesting when you're doing the racing. And the customization that you do in each one makes a big difference. And I'll go into that in a little bit. Now, like I said, this is set in an open world, and their fictional version of Las Vegas City with the desert and everything around it. It's basically a big open world. You go from different areas to different areas, challenging the crews, doing all types of races and doing all types of events around. Now, throughout this world, you have roaming AI drivers of each of those classes, and you can challenge those roaming AI drivers to races, and basically you got to stay ahead of them for so long, for a certain amount of time to win. And the interesting thing about that is once you beat them, they come back stronger. So if you see them again, it won't be as easy as the last time you beat them. But, and I'm telling you from word of advice, make sure whatever class that you're challenging, whichever roaming driver you're challenging, make sure you have the right class, because my dumb butt challenge a off-road AI and I was using a regular racing class. So when we was on the road, I was ahead of him, but as soon as we went off onto that dirt path, he left me. So just keep that in mind, because you'll see them around all the time, and once they come up, you'll get a prompt if you want to challenge them. If not, you can just keep on going. Now, they went very detailed with customizing these cars. The visualizations that you can do with these cars, adding decals, creating decals, doing tint, adding spoilers, adding all types of features to these cars, they went in great detail. Now, some of the customizations are locked behind challenges, and what you got to do is basically complete challenges in that specific class, so you can add those certain level customizations on there. And they are really nice. If you're a very detailed person with your cars, you're going to love that customization. You change the tires, the brakes, spoilers, tint the windows, all the small minor little things that you would want to change on a car, you can have it in here. And the parts customization is not bad at all either. What they do is they use a speed card system, and how it works is you get speed cards from either winning races or going to the little tune-up shops around in the world, and each of the speed cards has their own little perks on them, and which will give you an advantage. And if you link them with certain brands or certain other perks, you'll get a bonus on that, which will make your car perform better. Now, the really cool part about the speed cards is every time you change a speed card on your car, it makes a significant difference. And that was one thing that I really like. Like, as I was doing the drag racing crew, and I changed one or two features on my speed cards for my vehicle, and it made the major difference from me losing a race to winning a race. So if you are very detailed about how you want your engine set up, you will enjoy that. Now, you can also get speed card. You can also roll for a random speed card. And how that works is basically, if you rent a speed card and you don't want it, you trade it in. And you trade it in for a card. And once you get 3 of those cards, you can do a random spin. And you can do a random spin by however you want to. You can do it by that particular part that you want, or that brand, or that particular perk. And a lot of times the rolls come out pretty good. I didn't have many rolls that I did not keep. But if you don't like it, you just trade it in for another card. And that adds a little variety to it. Because if you're low on cash, but you got a bunch of these cards, you can just roll them to get new parts you need. Now, unfortunately, there are loot boxes in this game. But from what I've been seeing, it's mostly cosmetic. Most of the things that you get out of these loot boxes is air horns, tire smoke, underbed lights, stuff like that. Now, you do get a couple of speed cards, but not as many. But from what I've been experiencing in the game, you can also earn these crates by just completing challenges in the world. Like, if you played any Need for Speed games, you know about completing speed traps, time trials, stuff like that. You can earn them just like that. And I actually earned a ton of the loot boxes just by completing the challenges. So it's not hard to get them in game, but I had to put it out there that I seen that, and you can use real money to buy them. So that might turn some people off, but the fun part is completing the challenges, like doing the speed traps, trying to get through a speed trap at a certain speed. That's fun. Or doing a drift challenge, and you're gonna earn them anyway. But I had to let you guys know that because I saw it in there. And one really interesting thing, well, one really cool thing I should say, is the when you find the rare cars. How that works is, once you beat the leader of a crew, they give you a clue to what they call a derelict car, which is a real old car. And once you find this clue, you'll get 4 more clues to 4 more pieces you need for this car. And once you find all 4 pieces, you put the car back together. And these are some old school cars that can make a significant difference. Once you get these cars, you can set it up for whatever type of class you want it, whether you want it for drift, drag, enforcer, or regular racing. But they are fun to find. Well, I'm not going to say they're fun to find. They're fun to get together and put together. They can be challenging because, like I said, all you have is a picture and a part of the map where circuits off where it's supposed to be. And so you really got to think outside the box, looking at the map. And when you find it, you got to figure out how to get to it, because some of them are challenging to find. But like I said, when you find them and you get it together and you start rebuilding them from the ground up, it's a satisfying feel, because they're unique cars that make a big difference if you use them. So with that being said, we're going to look at the pros and the cons for this game. Now, pro wise, like I said before, the racing is challenging. The AI is not dumb. They will bob and weave out of traffic like you will. They'll hit nitrous on straightaways. They'll do everything they can to stay ahead of you. And if you bump them, they'll bump you back. So don't be shocked. The level of customization is very good. Like I said, if you're big on customizing your car, having it look a certain way with certain parts, a certain tint, certain decals, you're definitely going to get it in this game. And there's a large amount of cars to choose from. You're going to have a crap load of cars to choose from. And one thing that's kind of interesting is you can have one car that might be in one, if not two, maybe three different classes. So if you have a certain car that you really like, you can use in other classes, but you gotta be forewarned. Like, I love using the Lotus Elite. I have it in a drift class and a racing class, but I can't use my Lotus Elite that's drifting for my racing, and vice versa. I have to use that specific class of vehicle for that specific type of race. But it is kind of interesting that you can get the same car under different classes if you like that car. Now, the cons are, as you're racing, your character will be talking. I don't know if they were trying to do like a fourth wall breaking type thing, but basically, like, as you're doing better in the race, or if you're doing worse in the race, the character will talk. Like they're talking to themselves, or like they're talking to you that they need to do better or they're doing great. Now, at first, when you're first playing the game and you're first doing the races, it's no problem at all. But as you're getting deep into the game, it can become annoying, especially if you're one of those type of people that's while you're racing and you're focused and you're hearing stuff like that, and it can annoy you or get you out of the zone when you're racing. I didn't see any way to turn that off, so I can see how they could turn some people off. I started to tune it out, but it still gets annoying every now and then. Because last thing you want to do is, if you know you're doing bad in a race, you don't want to hear the AI, you don't want to hear the character saying it. The second one, and this is a personal pet peeve, but with the music in the game. Now, they have a good variety of music in it, and I like most of the music, but the thing is, you're racing with three different people, and each three of them have like their own specific type of playlist of music. There is some songs that's generally on all three of them, but there are certain songs that's only on each one of them, and that was something I didn't like. Like, you should be able to listen to all the music under everybody, regardless who you're playing. Another thing on top of that I didn't like was you couldn't create a playlist, and to me that was very weird. You know, in previous racing games, regardless of Need for Speed, you could create your own playlist and select what songs you wanted to play, so you didn't have to hear songs you didn't want to hear. So I thought that was kind of weird that they wouldn't do that. And the final con is the checkpoint system. When you're doing races, you have to go through a checkpoint, and there's nothing wrong with that. The thing that to me is very stupid and dumb is, if you miss the checkpoint, you don't get it counted. You have to keep going. You have to turn around and go through that checkpoint. And if you're going through a race, you're going to lose a lot of time and distance trying to go back through this checkpoint. I feel like that if you miss that checkpoint, they should just take time away from you, or make your distance longer. But the fact that if you miss a checkpoint, you have to turn all the way back around and get to that checkpoint, I think that's really dumb. I don't know why they would do that. But those are some of the pros and some of the cons of the game. Overall, I'm like 50-50 with the game, whether like or dislike, because there's so many things that they are trying that are good, and there's so many things that they change that aren't good. There's so many things that, like, why did you do this? Why go like this way? So I'm like 50-50 with the game. I'm still enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the racing. Like I said, the fact that I'm not big on drifting, I don't like drag racing, but I really enjoyed in this. They really went the extra mile to do that. Because for some people, if they don't like racing if they don't like doing those type of races, they try to avoid them. But in this one, they make it very good to get into. So that's just my take on the game. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, whether you like it, you don't like it, whether you plan on getting it, if you're going to wait on it. let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. It lets me know that you guys like these videos like this, and I'll work on trying to make more videos like this. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure don't be afraid to reach out to us, guys, because this channel is for everybody, regardless how you game, regardless if you're a pro, a casual, or mobile gamer, if you play on PC, console, doesn't matter. This channel is for gamers, and gamers are all alike. But I am Proto, and I will catch you guys later.